My opinion on the Elon Musk situation is simply this. Stop responding to people. You're Elon freaking Musk. Trump won. MAGA won. We have a lot to do, and there's no need for unnecessary back and forth because so much shit gets lost in the process on social media. Elon is too important, and he has too many eyes on him. Make clear tweets about what you want, but stop responding and explaining yourself. This is what's led you down this path, and now you are so far down the rabbit hole that you can't get out because now you're just in fight mode because you're facing an onslaught of people. He needs to shut the fuck up. You're the richest man in the world. I appreciate that he's so transparent with people and he tries to have conversations with people. Trump won. Maybe just shut the fuck up for a little while and let Donald Trump do his job instead of making yourself the center of the story. That's it. So this all is because of a response that he made in a conversation where he's trying to explain himself. I say it with respect because I like Elon Musk. Shut the fuck up. It doesn't matter. You own Twitter. You have created the #1 news site in the world. Why have we gone down this road? Because he needs to be heard. I guess he needs to get out there and stop explaining yourself. Stop. It's the attitude of like, you look at it. Donald Trump is obviously on social media. Trump makes his posts and he moves on. Donald Trump's not responding to every fucking person in his comments going, no, what I meant was this. Or no, what I mean is that. That would be insane for Donald Trump to be responding to every fucking comment to try to explain his position. When you are Elon Musk, when you are Donald Trump, when you are this important, you don't need to be doing this. You're only making the situation worse and worse and worse. And now, I don't know if he can get out of it because his ego's not going to let him. But he's brought this on himself. He's brought all of this on himself. He has lighted a fire within MAGA, and a lot of people are jumping off the Elon bandwagon. And he just keeps making it worse and worse and worse. And the more he talks, the more it looks bad. The comments he's making are bad. None of them look good. None of them sound like the MAGA initiative. It just does not come off very well at all. It just doesn't. So, Elon's basically saying people need to be removed from the Republican Party. But then he's like, who I was talking about was the racist. It's like, oh my God, Elon, are you going down this road? Are you seriously like pointing out the racist out there? Oh my gosh, man, he's going down the wrong path. I don't understand what he's thinking right now. What the hell are you doing, man? So now everybody's a racist that disagrees with you? This dude needs to chill the fuck out on social media. He needs to stop right now. And I don't think that's going to happen. In fact, going back to my point at hand, going back to my tweet where I said he needs to stop responding, case in point right here. Let me find it. I've got a lot of bookmarks that we're going to have to talk about tonight. Case in point is the quartering had it right here. Okay, look at this. This furthers my point. This strengthens my point. Elon responds to a fake Patrick Bet David account baiting conservatives. He's responding to a fucking parody account on his own platform. What are you doing, Elon? What are you doing? Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh, dude. Steven Crowder was talking about it one day, and he said, when you are on the conservative side or the Republican side, you have to operate from a different set of rules. You have to. And when you're Elon Musk and you're already trying to create a divide between you and President Trump, don't give them opportunities to do it. He's getting ratioed on Twitter right now. He's putting himself in these positions right now. You as the leader, you as a person that has some influence has to be aware of these things and to stop fanning the flames. He's fanning the flames. Shut up. Quit responding. That's simple. The point here is that Trump, now everybody thinks like, or not everybody, but like Trump's critics thinks that they think he's unhinged and he just spews off at the mouth. No, he doesn't. Donald Trump is very measured in everything he says. There's a reason he's not saying anything about any of this right now. because he probably understands that it's being completely hijacked by the left. And he probably understands that Elon and Vivek have completely unnecessarily created a fucking firestorm for no reason. So he understands that anything that I say right now, I'm only going to make it worse. So I probably just shouldn't say anything at all. And that's exactly how a leader should be looking at the situation, going, there's nothing I can do right now except stay quiet, because there's so much noise going on. And this is why, Elon, it's clear who's in charge. I know the left tried to create this narrative that Elon, it's clear that Donald Trump is the boss. And there's no doubt. There was never any doubt about that either, anyway, for me and for most people with a working brain. But now, just from a completely optic standpoint, Donald Trump is absolutely the fucking boss. And he's proving it right now by the way he's acting. So there's one account, conservative something, that had like they had like 400,000 followers, and they had a ton of people in their network, and they had a gold check mark. And a ton of people, I guess, they lost their gold check mark or something happened. And so that affected like 20 or 30 influencers that were all kind of in the same realm as Laura Loomer. It's weird, man. And here's the thing. It is weird. Elon has taken care of problems very quickly in the past. The fact that this is such a big problem and it hasn't been dealt with is a concern. It's a huge concern. So
I agree.
Yeah. Kira says, yeah, but a lot on the right are latching onto it with "I told you Vivek is bad. It doesn't matter who posted it if idiots are agreeing." That includes Loomer. Well, Laura Loomer, she is who she is, man. There's people that go after me, and I just don't even acknowledge it because I don't care. And I know that their whole goal is to get a reaction out of me. When I know that your goal is to get a reaction, I don't respond, or at least I try not. And that's what Laura wants. She wants a response, and she thrives off of it. That doesn't make her a bad person. That's just who she is. And you have to know that. And Elon knows that, yet he still acknowledged her yesterday, which got her even more worked up. And then got him intertwined in the web. And then, honestly, he took the L on the situation because she got what she wanted out of it, and he walked right into her trap. Hail Yassine. I think I'm saying that correctly. This is the Twitter or the ex-employee that was trolling and gotten people all worked up the other day. And Kira was letting me know about that. So, Hail, I think it's Yassine. We're going to listen to this right here, Jay.
Not bald.
We're going to listen to this right here, Jay. Okay. So this is watch Charlie Kirk and Jack Posobiec break down the debate between the tech right and the MAGA over the H-1B visa. Let's hear what they have to say.
So, Jack, for the audience that was enjoying their loved ones, not staring at Twitter all day long, what happened? Did we experience MAGA Chernobyl?
Well, we experienced a MAGA dust-up, but MAGA Chernobyl is ridiculous. That sounds like something that some George Soros operative would want to put out into the ether to try to give the Democrats some glimmer.
And by the way, while I have pop culture problems with Jack Posobiec, when it comes to politics and MAGA, he's pretty fucking spot on. He really is, and he obviously has a ton of connections. He's got his finger on the pulse. Posobiec knows what's up when it comes to MAGA.
Glimmer of hope that this country is possibly interested in coming back towards them again. Newsflash. No, there was no MAGA Chernobyl. And no, the country is totally over all the wokerati and the wokeness that got us into the situation that we're currently in. But what happened was a probably a predictable and generally, I think, forthcoming argument and debate between members of, shall we say, the tech right and members of the MAGA base as pertains to the level of immigration, particularly we're talking about legal immigration now to the United States as pertains, interestingly enough, directly to the tech right. So do people remember that when Trump went on the All In podcast a couple of months ago, it was during the campaign, and at the very end of it, he said, oh, well, I think that when a graduate comes out of high school, we should staple a green card on the back of that diploma and then put them into.
Yes. So I saw Minister Ron thing. It says Jack is saying what we have been saying. Yes. But what I have been saying is this right here. Here's my point. Okay. Let me show you my point. Because my point is that all these things are happening, but Elon Musk needs to shut the fuck up. Okay.
Yeah.
So right here's my point. Okay. Scott Adams retweets this nonsensical Soros fucking op. Okay. And tries to tie it to MAGA. Elon Musk responds. Why is Elon Musk responding saying we need to get all the bad people out of the Republican Party? Jack Posobiec ratios to hell because he says this is a Soros operative. Shut up, Elon Musk. That's my problem. Why are you doing this? Why are you responding to this Scott Adams clown who's retweeting this person who clearly hates Donald Trump and MAGA? It's nonsensical.
College, et cetera. And I mean, you just saw people from War Room and Steve Bannon at the time completely push back on that. And I believe Caroline Levitt had said something about like, oh, he was just making a suggestion. And it, you know, kind of never went anywhere from that. Well, we have another dust up around the very same issue of H-1Bs wanting to come in, or really tech CEOs wanting H-1Bs to come in because they're incredibly cheap. They undercut American labor, they undercut American tech workers, American STEM, et cetera, et cetera. And then, you know, people were going back and forth with Elon. Mike Cernovich got involved. And then Vivek Ramaswamy put out a post saying that it's not actually economically based,
it's cultural,
that it is in fact culturally based,
which is not a good
and
thing.
Essentially that American culture is wrong. And since the 1990s, it has been wrong for favoring essentially entertainment and fun.
It's not American culture. That's Democratic culture. That is
That's the
down
progressive
path.
left culture. Yes,
exactly.
To teach our young people to hate America, to teach them to play the victim, to teach them that they could get stupid degrees that will make them no money. That is the left culture. 100%. That's not American culture. Yeah, I totally agree. That's what they're teaching these young people today. That you can just get money from the government, to hate your country, to play victim, to be stupid, and not do anything with your life. That is exactly what they've been pushing in our education system. So I agree.
Yep.
Agree.
So you would say, would you say I agree with Jay, who agreed with Jeremy now, chat? Is that where we're at? I agree with Jay, who agreed with Jeremy, but Jeremy's still gay. That's probably how it needs to be.
And life and, kind of jocular culture and athletics and charisma over, like, I don't know, spelling bees and math studies.
See, but I bringing the jock culture into it. You know, when Michael Jordan was the most famous man in the world, we didn't have these fucking problems. Okay. When LeBron James was the guy that was the most famous person in the NBA, guess what? LeBron James represented that Democratic left-wing culture because he's a cuck for it. Michael Jordan, Republicans buy sneakers too. Never got involved in politics. You know, like that's what moved us forward, was those types of Michael Jordan was a definitive alpha male. You know what I mean? He's not a cuck like LeBron. So it's the Democratic left-wing culture that's brought us to that place. This was the Will Kane show, and it's about 5 minutes long, but let's listen to this.
Azoria CEO James Fishback joins me now. James, thanks for being with us tonight. Let's talk about what Vivek had to say. I know Vivek. I like Vivek. I think Vivek is brilliant. And I take his point on what he's saying here when it comes to a very specific, perhaps, as he and Elon tweeted, 0.01% of engineers that are needed to be brought from across the world. But I fear that his indictment was too broad, too sweeping about the culture of America.
Well, Will, good evening and Merry Christmas. Look, Vivek does not mince words. What you'll notice about that tweet that I encourage everybody to read, it's been the tweet that's been heard around the world, is he doesn't mention American culture once. What he's talking about, I think, is the anti-American, anti-meritocratic subculture that has been exploded in recent years, especially under the Biden-Harris regime. The subculture, Will, that cancels the science fair in favor of drag queen story hour. The subculture where college campuses are spending more time.
That is not American culture at all. That is Democratic culture. That is left-wing culture.
I'm talking about microaggressions than microbiology, the culture that tells a young girl that Cardi B is a role model and that Thomas Jefferson is a racist. That is not the American culture. We have deviated from that. But President Trump's historic victory a month ago means that the golden era is upon us. And Vivek, I believe, knows that to be true.
And he's championed those ideas. He's championed them with me. He's championed them on this particular show. He's been a leader in pushing back on the things that have rotted our culture. But he does mention the culture more largely, James. He does talk about us venerating the prom king or the football player over the science fair competition. And what I would say, and I don't think Vivek disagrees with me. I really don't. I think he believes in American exceptionalism. But I fear that in this particular sentiment, he has suggested that mediocrity has bled to an overall malaise in America. And he said it's happened basically since the 90s. Now, I have to believe that some of that is true, but we are still today, not just in our past, we are still exceptional in America.
There is no question about it. Even despite what's been a couple difficult years under this Biden-Harris regime, this is the best country on earth. We are blessed by the grace of God. I know that Vivek knows that. I know that Americans watching at home, and I know that you know that, Will.
Yeah, but when you're talking about it, you've got to be aware of what we've been through the last 4 years and even the last decade, probably. That's what you have to be aware of when you're talking about these things. And again, the more you talk on social media, the more it's going to get messy, and then you start explaining it, and then you start talking about it. You can say what a lot of things about Elon and Vivek. Their intelligence level is not something you're going to be able to criticize because they're both freaking smart as hell. But sometimes you're a little too smart when you're on social media, and you start talking over yourself, talking over other people, talking too smart for the moment. And these guys need to shut up. That's my stance, and I'm going to keep saying that.
The bigger thing I think we have to ask ourselves is, for as much as American athletes get credit for things, we need to also venerate and exemplify the great mathematicians of this country. When a kid wins a math or science competition, let's put him on a billboard too, right alongside the winning quarterback.
Can you stop it for a second? You want to know why we don't celebrate the math and science competition? Is because we are in this part, as someone that was part of the education system not too long ago, we were at this moment where I don't know if it was your school but I saw it firsthand that everyone got a participation award. It wasn't as special as people are making this out to be. We live in this terrible time where everybody gets a trophy. Mm-hmm. Everyone gets a trophy. So why is that special? You know? So it's like, no, man, it's not that we're not celebrating those people. It's the fact that everybody wins something. So there's nothing special about it to celebrate. And that's the thing that a lot of people aren't talking about. Like, even now we're teaching these young kids now when they get into sports, some of these like baseball games and basketball games, they don't even keep the score. They just let them play. And it's going up to middle school level. It's like, let's not put a score on the board. We don't want to upset anybody. So why celebrate that? There's no reason to celebrate. That's all. I just wanted to throw that in there. It's worthless to celebrate someone that they're just like, well, we'll just let you win. Mm-hmm. Thanks for participating.
Yeah. And winners should be celebrated. Winners should be celebrated.
Of course.
For being winners. From top down, sports is just as identity politic ridden as everything else right now. Now, it's more difficult to just elevate somebody based on their identity in sports than, movies and television, shit like that. But sports has been completely fucking ruined by this leftist narrative as well. It's not the same. It's not the same.
You mean the participation awards and stuff?
Yeah, that and just
the
overall
terrible.
But I'm even talking about the identity politics that they're pushing in it too. Like,
NASCAR.
NASCAR's been ruined because they need more diversity in NASCAR. No, the fuck we don't. We need whoever wants to be involved in it, regardless of what color they are. If you have a passion for it, and if you are interested in it, then you can get involved in it. But no, we don't need to make diversity initiatives for any fucking thing ever, because that's bullshit. I watched NASCAR for a long time, back when Dale Earnhardt was there, and Mark Martin, and Tony Stewart, and Dale Jarrett, and Rusty Wallace. And now we've got people like Bubba fucking Wallace, who's literally creating fake race crimes that he can pretend to play the victim over. NASCAR completely bent the knee to this bullshit. So now you've got a piece of America that's an iconic, kind of symbol was NASCAR to a huge part of this country that means absolutely fucking nothing anymore. You've taken all the cultural relevance out of that sport, all of it, because you've pandered to some bullshit. The NBA's ratings are completely in the fucking tank right now. When Michael Jordan was in the NBA mattered, and young kids were watching basketball. And what was the saying? I want to be like Mike. I want to be the greatest basketball player in the world. I want to be like that guy. That is a good fucking culture to be a part of, to strive to be the best, to see an alpha male being the best and performing at the highest fucking level. That is inspiring to kids. There's nothing wrong with celebrating great athletes, but there is something wrong with pushing bullshit identity politics into every aspect of American culture because it's a goddamn disease and we're fucking tired of it. I'm sick of this shit. So, like, you could never have a Dale Earnhardt who was just a fucking tough guy, country boy, just didn't graduate high school. Dale Earnhardt did not graduate high school. He was just a good old boy, tough as nails, didn't put up with no bullshit. They would have their fights. They would, nobody was messing with Earnhardt after a certain point because they knew. Tony Stewart's another one. I love Tony Stewart. Tony Stewart will beat your ass. We don't have that mentality anymore from these guys. We just don't. And it's all because of the leftist disease that has overrun this country. So anyway, all right, back to this. We both went on our little rant.
Prioritize merit and excellence, and we have to reject this anti-meritocratic subculture that's trying to divide us.
Well, James,
President Trump will unite this country. There's no question about it.
Do we have those individuals here today? So I want to get to the nuts and bolts, the brass tacks of this debate. A lot of it has to do with H-1B visas. And do we recruit talent from across the world, be it Asia, be it China, be it India? Do we recruit talent from across the world? And by the way, Vivek is on the record. He has opposed the way the H-1B visa system works. But do we continue to need to pull engineers from across the world, or do we not have that brain power here today that can be developed, whether or not we're talking about Silicon Valley or wherever it's needed here in America?
We absolutely have that brain power here. There is no question about it. Now, here's the thing, Will, and the great thing about this H-1B debate, the silver lining, I believe that the H-1B process, like Vivek has said, is badly broken. It's a scam. It needs to be gutted. But if you go online right now and look at all of the H-1B positions, here's an amazing fact. For every one H-1B position for a, quote, AI engineer, there are 13, Will, for H-1B accountants. We have 50,000 accounting majors graduating in this country every single year, from HBCUs to Harvard to community colleges to state colleges. We need to give them a fair and even shot. I spoke with a recruiter this afternoon who said that at his company, they had a policy: do not hire American citizens, put H-1Bs first. That is not meritocracy. When you restore meritocracy in America, as President Trump will do, Americans always rise to the challenge.
So to be clear, if I'm listening to you correctly, James, you do not think, and I don't know where Vivek stands on this part, but American engineers, American students, Vivek talks about needing, and it's not a college issue, it's a cultural issue at a younger age. You think, I'm asking you here, that Americans are not getting a fair shake on getting some of these top jobs because we're recruiting from places like India or China?
That's right. They're not getting a fair shake. The recruiters have said so. We have plenty of accountants in this country, plenty of engineers. Now, when it comes to the top 0.1% of elite talent, welcome aboard. But the H-1B system as it stands is anti-meritocratic.
But the H-1B system is not that. The O-1 is. That's what they're leaving out. And I don't know why they keep leaving that out of this conversation. There is a visa that is designed for the elites in the field, in their respective field. It's O-1 visa. Why do they keep bringing that up for the H-1? The point is you should get rid of the fucking H-1. It's essentially what you should do based on where we're at. Or maybe you reformat it completely, reform it or something. But the O-1 visa is there for the thing that they claim that they're saying that the H-1 should be, which is bullshit. And I don't know why all of these people that know the O-1 exists continue to leave it out of the conversation. It's bullshit. That's where we are. That's where we are.
I'm of the mindset of I just want Trump to get in and just tear everything down and start over brick by brick.
Yeah.
Everything. Visas, everything. Everything. And I know people, they don't like that take. They're like, yeah, but I'm just like, everything is just so freaking broken. Anything that we look at in our government right now, everything is broken. And it's like, hey guys, we just got to take a pause for a minute and just one brick at a time. But I know it won't happen, but that's my wish.